Hi. Hello, I'm seeing you for the first time.
Yes.
So you must be wondering how come I'm here today. Used to have logo map. So other picture. We never came in this room, no? Okay. What did you finish earlier before you went on a break? You're a new student. Okay.
When we completed this second chapter, we had just revised again the second chapter in the literature and we were doing tenses.
I think we did tenses.
No, we did. I think we started determinants.
Okay. So you finished determiners? No. So you know what determiners are? Okay. So you want me to continue determiners or should we do a new lesson altogether? 1.5 hours. We'll do a new chapter. Okay? If ma'am comes, if we have time after that, then we'll do determiners. Okay? How much have you finished in school?
Ma'am, actually, we have not started with grammar. We have done the literature part, 4 chapters.
Okay. Second chapter of moments. Have you done second chapter of moments? You're in the class. No. So, have you done this first chapter?
No.
The lost child? Have you done the lost child from moments, the first chapter?
No.
Okay. Let's do the first chapter, the lost child.
I actually have not got moments.
You don't have?
No, I've not got moments.
What have you got then?
Actually, I've not got textbook. I don't know.
Okay. Do you mind sitting with him? Can you both sit and lend one to talk? You're from which school? Jaipur. We have you from Jaipur. I'm sorry, you're from Kodar.
No,
And Swayam Siddhika. Arnav, you have this. Okay. Before we start this lesson, this is, this story is about how there was this child. He was going to a fair, okay, and on his way to fair, he could see so many things. He saw those fields and he was very, very excited. He was running ahead. He wanted to catch the butterflies. He wanted to catch the, those, what do you call it? Dragonflies. Dragonflies, you catch very young children, they like to catch their feathers and hold them. They like to catch the butterflies. As he entered the fair, he could see, the mithai wala and the balloon seller and the flower shop, and he saw so many shops and he wanted everything. And it so happened that in that frenzy of seeing so many things, he didn't realize in that crowd he got misplaced. He was with his parents, but after a while he realized that he's not with his parents. He couldn't see his parents anywhere. And then suddenly everything. He wanted to buy the flowers, he wanted to buy the balloons, he wanted those sweets, he wanted to run after those beautiful butterflies. But suddenly when he realized he's alone in the fair, he didn't want anything. What did he want now? Thank you. His parents. His parents. He only wanted his parents. He wanted to see his parents, and nothing fascinated him anymore. That is the story of the lost child. The lost child. First lesson. A child goes to a fair with his parents. He is happy and excited and wants the sweets and toys displayed there. But his parents don't buy them for him. Why then does he refuse when someone else offers them to him? It was the festival of spring. Let's read the lesson. It was the festival of spring. From the wintry shades of narrow lanes and alleys emerged a gaily clad humanity. Some walked, some rode on horses, others sat, being carried in the bamboo and bullock carts. One little boy ran between his father's legs, breathing over with life and laughter. The first para gives us a description as what festival was it? It was a festival of spring. Okay, it was a festival of spring. कहते हैं ना गांव की जत्रा होती है. So it was a jatra, fair kind of thing. And then from wintry shades of narrow lanes came different people. The people from different lanes and different places were walking towards the fair, wherever the fair was. Some were walking, some rode on horses, some were in the bullock carts, and we have this one child who was running between his parents' legs, between his father's legs, and he was very, very happy that he was going to the fair. He was laughing, and one could see he was joyous. It was joy to see him. It was full of life and laughter. Read.
Come, child, come, called his parents, as he lagged behind, fascinated by the toys in the shops that lined the road. He hurried towards his parents.
Will you read?
Hello.
I'm going to class. Yeah.
He hurried towards his parents, his feet obedient to their call, his eyes still lingering on the receding toys. As he came to where they had stopped to wait for him, he could not suppress the desire of his heart, even though he then knew the old cold stare of refusal in their eyes. I want that toy, he pleaded. His father looked at him red-eyed in his familiar tyrant's way. His mother, melted by the free spirit of the day, was tender and giving him a finger to hold, said, "Look, child, what's before you?"
Okay. So, see, even when you were young, and even now, when you go out, you always look outside. Even when you're traveling by car, you are always looking outside. What is the shops, the cars that are passing by, and the father must be driving. So here also a small child, he was busy looking what is there on the sides, and he could see the different toys. His eyes were on the toys, as he was walking, and he wanted that. But he knew his parents will not, a cold stare of refusal in his parents' eyes. Maybe they were not very well off. So, there were, this is an old story. And in the olden days, there were many parents who believed that you should not indulge your child so much. So, you should not buy everything that the child wants. Maybe that parents were a little strict, or maybe they were not that well off. And they knew that they're not going to afford buying everything and anything that he demands. And he too knew, the small child also knew, that if he demands everything, he will not get. Still he told, I want that toy. Father? Did his father bite? No. He looked at him red-eyed in his familiar tyrant's way, just gave a very stern look. The mother was a little kind person. She was kind-hearted, and it was a nice day. It was a day of fair. All people were going towards it. So, with a tender, loving day, she just gave him her finger and said, "Look, child, what is before you?" She tried to divert his attention because his eyes were on the toys. He wanted those toys. And just to divert his attention, he said, "Look, look, look, what is there?" You usually do that, no? With the small children, or you must have experienced it when you were a child. Parents used to always divert your attention so that you don't demand too many things. Read.
It was a flowering mustard field, pale like melting gold as it swept across miles and miles of even land. A group of dragonflies were bustling about on their gaudy, deep purple wings, intercepting the flight of a lone black bee or butterfly in search of sweetness from the flowers. The child followed them in the air with his gaze till one of them would still its wing and rest, and he would try to catch it. But it would go fluttering, flapping up into the air when he had almost caught it in his hands. Then his mother gave a cautionary call, "Come, child, come on to the footpath."
Okay. So she said, "Look, what is before you?" And what was before him?
Group of
A group
dragonflies.
of dragonflies.
A group of?
Dragonflies.
Did the mother show him the dragonflies?
It was the flowering mustard
It was a
field.
flowering mustard field. You know the mustard field, when it flowers, it has yellow flowers. Now, mustard, you all know mustard that we eat. Mustard flowers are yellow in color. And when they flower, the entire field looks as if it's yellow in color. So she said, "Look, look, look, what is there?" So he says that it was a yellow mustard field, flowering mustard field, pale like melting gold, as it swept across miles and miles of even land. For miles and miles, one could see that pale yellow flowers. You know, it was as if the whole area had turned yellow. I'm not sure which is that color. Have you seen mustard fields anytime? Okay. It's light. It's a little lighter than this yellow. This. Maybe this yellow. Can you see this yellow? It is this yellow. That yellow, and it just feels as if for miles and miles there are those mustard seeds, and the whole thing looks very, very beautiful. And then he sees a group of dragonflies. It gives a nice bustling on the caught with their gaudy purple wings. They have these dark purple wings, the dragonflies. What did these? And intercepting the flight of a lone black bee or butterflies. See, there were dragonflies. Then in between there was one bee. In between there were butterflies. So he was so thrilled to see those dragonflies flying, butterflies. The child followed them in the air with his gaze, till one of them would still its wing and rest, and he would try to catch it. That is, he would go after them. His gaze would move wherever they are. You know, these dragonflies, they fly, then they wait, stop somewhere, and still their wings. So he would wait for that. And the minute the dragonfly would be still, he would go and catch it. He would think that he has caught it, but he would try to catch it. The minute he tries to catch it, the dragonfly would fly off. So the child was not able to catch the dragonfly or the butterfly. So, and he would try to catch it, but it would go fluttering, flapping up into the air when he had almost caught it in his hands. And again, the child got busy with running after these butterflies and dragonflies. So the father and the mother, they were getting late. They wanted to go, and so the mother again called. Come, child, come. Come on the footpath. He
He ran a shower of
ran towards his parents.
He ran towards his parents gaily and walked abreast of them. For a while, being, however, soon left behind, attracted by the little insects and worms along the footpath that were peeping out from their hiding places to enjoy the sunshine.
Now, first he got distracted by the toys. Then he got distracted by these butterflies and dragonflies. The mother called him on the footpath. He started walking ahead, okay, ahead of his parents. And then after a while, again he was started lagging behind. Why? What attracted his attention now?
Insects.
The insects. That's right. So now he could see the little insects and worms along the footpath that had come out of their hiding places. Probably he could see the caterpillar or the insects falling, and he was so fascinated by them. So he waited and he stopped there and waited to see how they look and where it is going. Now read continue.
Come, child, come. His parents called from the shade of a grove.
Grove.
Where they
Grove means?
grove. Shade of a grove.
No. Grove is mango grove. It's a garden, a fruit garden. Okay.
Where they had seated themselves on the edge of a well, he ran towards them. A shower of young flowers fell upon the child as he entered the grove, and forgetting his parents, he began to gather the raining petals in his hands. But oh,
But low.
lo, he heard the cooing of doves and ran towards his parents, shouting, "The dove, the
The
dove,
dove, the dove.
the dove, the dove." The raining petals dropped from his forgotten hands.
Okay. Now, his parents again called him. Where were they sitting now?
On the edge of the well.
On the edge of a well under a tree. So the child ran towards them, and then he saw that because of the rustling, the petals of the flowers were falling on the ground. So he got fascinated. Now he started collecting the flower petals. Then the mother again called, and then he heard. What did he hear after that? While he was collecting the petals, the cooing of the doves. Okay. Have you seen the doves, the white pigeons? The pigeons, they look like pigeons, but they're white in color. So when he heard the cooing of the doves, he just dropped the petals and started running to see where those doves are. The dove. See the birds, I can see those beautiful white birds on the tree. Come, child, come. They called to the child, who had now gone running in wild capers round the banyan tree. And gathering him up, they took the narrow winding footpath which led to the fair through the mustard fields. Now they again called the child, and they started walking towards, to the narrow winding footpath which led to the mustard fields.
As they neared the village, the child could see many other footpaths full of throngs
Converging
converging to the whirlpool of the fair, and felt at once repelled and fascinated by the confusion of the world he was entering.
Okay. As he neared the village, you could see there were many roads, and the roads were full of throngs, group of people, lots of people. So you could see that lots of people were entering the whirlpool of the fair. The fair is in a circular fashion, and then around that fair, it was a whirlpool of people. That is, there were so many people moving here and there. Okay? And there were many roads. So some were coming from this village, some were coming from that side, some from here. Throngs of people were entering. And this boy, he was at once repelled and fascinated. at once shocked, surprised. He had never seen so many people, and he was worried how it will be inside, what it must be. He was scared and fascinated both. Okay, he was repelled and fascinated. We said, "Ah, there so many people. कितने सारे लोग हैं यहाँ पर." And you also want to know what they must be doing inside. So it was the mixed emotion of the world he was entering.
A sweetmeat seller hawk, gulab jamun, rasgulla, barfi, jalebi. At the corner of the entrance, and a crowd pressed round his counter at the foot of an architecture of many colored sweets, decorated with leaves of silver and gold. The child stared open-eyed, and his mouth watered for the barfi that was his favorite sweet. I want that barfi, he slowly murmured. But he half knew, as he begged that his plea would not be heeded because his parents would say that he was greedy. So without waiting for an answer, he moved on.
Okay. So first, what did he see? The first shop he saw was a sweetmeat seller. That's right, sweetmeat seller hawker, and the hawker was crying out the names. And at the entrance, and you've gone to the sweetmeat shop, and the way they set the sweetmeats, all in different colors, and the way they display it, anybody can find feel like eating. So even this child, he wanted barfi. When he saw the sweet, immediately came the demand. I want that barfi. He slowly murmured. Why did he murmur slowly?
Because if he would say it loudly, his parents would deny his.
Okay, so he knew that he was not very confident. I want. He did not do that. He said it slowly, I want that barfi. Because he knew maybe his demand won't be fulfilled. Okay, so he was not very. He knew his parents probably are not well off, and they will not be able to buy it for him. Because it says his plea would not be heeded because his parents would say he was greedy. So without waiting for an answer, he moved on. Yes, read.
A flower seller, a flower seller hawk, a garland of gulmohar, the child seemed
Irresistibly.
drawn. He went toward the basket where the flowers lay heaped and half murmured, I want that garland. But he well knew his parents would refuse to buy him those flowers because they would say that they were cheap. So without waiting for an answer, he moved on.
First he got it. First he saw sweet shop. Then he saw the flower seller. Here also he was attracted to that gulmohar, garland of gulmohar. But did he ask for it?
No.
Because he knew his parents' reply. What would his parents' reply be?
That you would be greedy, that you are greedy and want
He would be greedy.
For asking for sweets, they would say you're greedy. And for flowers, they would say
that they were cheap.
they're cheap. Gulmohar. ये तो क्या अपने घर के सामने है देखने से इसके लिए कौन पैसा खर्च करे. So he knew his parents' reply that these are cheap flowers. Let's not buy that.
A man stood holding a pole with yellow, red, green, and purple balloons flying from it. The child was simply carried away by the rainbow glory of their silken colors, and he was filled with an overwhelming desire to possess them all. But he well knew his parents would never buy him the balloons because they would say he was too old to play with such toys. So he walked on farther.
Yes.
A snake charmer stood playing a flute to a snake which coiled itself in a basket, its head raised in a graceful bend like the neck of a swan, while the music stole into its invisible ears like the gentle rippling of an invisible waterfall. The child went towards the snake charmer, but knowing his parents had forbidden him to hear such coarse music as the snake charmer played, he proceeded farther.
Farther, yes. So first he saw the streets, then he saw the flower seller, then he saw the balloon seller. Every child gets attracted to those red, yellow, blue balloons, green, purple balloons. He knew his parents would not buy, so he did not demand. Uh, a snake charmer. Then he saw in the middle of the shop, he saw a snake charmer. So the snake charmer was playing his flute, and the snake was like coiled in the basket, and his head was out. Okay, in a graceful bend like the neck of a swan. But he knew his parents had forbidden him to hear such coarse music. And therefore he knew his parents would get angry if he stands there and listens to what that snake charmer is playing and what is happening there. So he walked fast as father as he could. He proceeded farther. Yes, please.
There was a roundabout in full swing. Men, women, and children carried away, in a whirling motion, shrieked and cried. With dizzy laughter, the child watched them intently and then he made a bold request. I want to go on the roundabout. Please, father, mother.
Okay, then he saw the roundabout, the merry-go-round. Okay, because suddenly as he started to move farther, he saw the roundabout or the merry-go-round as they call it. Men, women, children, they were all going in the circular motion, and as they were coming down from top, they shrieked, they laughed. And when he saw that, he knew he wants to enjoy that. And now he decided he's going to ask his parents, and he boldly told them that I want to go in the roundabout. Father, mother, yes.
There was no reply. He turned to look at his parents. They were not there. Ahead of him, he turned to look on either side. They were not there. He looked behind. There was no sign of them. A full deep cry rose within his joint throat, and with a sudden jerk of his body, he ran from where he stood, crying in real fear. Mother, father, tears rolled down from his eyes, hot and fierce. His flushed face was
Convulsed with fear.
convulsed with fear. Panic stricken, he ran to one side first, then to the other, hither and thither, in all directions, knowing not where to go. Mother, father, he wheeled, his yellow turban came untied and his clothes became muddy.
Okay, you understood. It doesn't need any explanation. What happened? See, he asked his parents, I want to go in that whereabout, and he turned to see his parents. He couldn't see them who were next to them, behind them, in front of them. He looked everywhere, but there was no sign of them. Now he got scared. He says that a full deep cry rose from his dry throat, and with a sudden jerk, joking and crying, he cried in a real fear. Mother, father. So now the tears started rolling down. Panic stricken, he ran to one side first, then to the other. And hither thither, in different directions, he was running, crying out their names, calling out to his mother and father. Having run to and fro in a rage of running for a while, he stood defeated. His cries supposedly suppressed into sobs. At little distances on the green grass, he could see, through his filmy eyes, men and women talking. He tried to look intently among the patches of the bright yellow clothes, but there was no sign of his father and mother among these people, who seemed to laugh and talk just for the sake of laughing and talking. First he ran here and there, and he stood at one place and he tried to look. He was crying, and therefore when you cry, you have these filmy eyes. Filmy eyes, and there's a thin layer of tears on your eyes. So through that, he tried to see whether he can see anybody. There were like so many people with yellow turban, yellow clothes, and if he can see any sign of his mother and father there. He ran quickly again. this time to a shrine to which people seemed to be crowding. He now went to a shrine, a temple, you can say. Read.
Every little inch of space here was congested with men, but he ran through people's legs, his little sob lingering, mother, father, near the entrance to the temple. However, the crowd became very thick. Men jostled each other. Heavy men with flashing, murderous eyes and hefty shoulders, the poor child struggled to thrust a way between their feet. But knocked to and fro by their brutal movements, he might have been trampled underfoot. He had he not stricken at
Shrieked.
had he not shrieked at the highest pitch of his voice. Mother, father, a man in the shrugging crowd heard his cry and stooping with great difficulty, lifted him up in his arms.
Okay. You understood what happened? Then he ran into the shrine. Many people had gathered there. Like men were pushing and jostling. You know, temple hoga, जिसके अंदर they were trying to enter. And because there was a huge crowd, people were like pushing and jostling. And a poor child struggled to thrust in between. ये बच्चों लोगों के बीच में से पैरों के बीच में से he was trying to enter the temple. He was knocked to and fro by the brutal movements. He might have been trampled underfoot. The people were like knocking and moving, trying to enter the temple, the shrine. So he would have not trampled, must have fallen. There was a time when he would have fallen down and people would have walked over him. Had he not shrieked loudly. He shrieked, you know what is a shriek? Gave a loud shout. And then that a man in that surging crowd, he stooped with great difficulty, bent down and lifted him in his arms. What did he do there? Read.
How did you get here, child? Whose baby are you? The man asked as he steered clear of the mask. The child wept more bitterly than ever now and only cried, I want my mother, I want my father. The man tried to soothe him by taking him to the roundabout. Will you have a ride on the horse? He asked. He gently asked as he approached the ring. The child's throat tore into 1,000 shrill sobs and he only shouted, I want my mother, I want my father. The man headed towards the place where the snake charmer still played on the flute to the swaying cobra. Listen to that nice music, child, he pleaded. But the child shut his ears with his fingers and shouted his double-pitched strain. I want my mother, I want my father. The man took him near the balloons, thinking the bright colors of the balloons would distract the child's attention and quieten him. Would you like a rainbow-colored balloon? He persuasively asked. The child turned his eyes from the flying balloons and just sobbed, I want my mother, I want my father. The man, still trying to make the child happy, bore him to the gate where the flower seller sat. Look, can you smell those nice flowers, child? Would you like a garland to put round your neck? The child turned his nose away from the basket and reiterated his sob. I want my mother, I want my father. Thinking to humor his disconsolate charge by a gift of sweets, the man took him to the counter of the sweet shop. What sweets would you like, child? He asked. The child turned his face from the sweet shop and only sobbed, I want my mother, I want my father.
Muskraj Anand. So, the same child, but now he was in a different situation. This another man, a strange man, who lifted him up. A kind person actually. In that crowd, he was moving inside and then he saw this child and he decided to help the child. So he lifted him and he tried to console him. He asked, where are you from? Whose child are you? The child started crying more now. In order to console him, he took him to asked him whether he will enjoy the roundabout. So asked him whether he will enjoy the snake charmer's show. or whether he wanted a balloon, or he'll have sweets, or would he like a garland. But the child now was not interested in any of those things which he earlier wanted and which he earlier desired. Now he only wanted his mother and father. He again wanted to be safe. He again wanted to go back to the parents. Okay. That's the story. Have you ever got lost in your future? Never? Never? Okay. Never even while you were going to school or on your way back from school. You don't have any such story to share. Okay. In my earlier class, this child had said that one day the child went and sat under behind a cupboard or something, and the mother did not realize where the child is, couldn't find. She kept calling and he refused to respond. So mother got scared and then she went around searching for him. And the neighbors also came and everybody was looking for him. And finally they decided they'll lodge a complaint. And that's when one child came inside, looking and they were talking. God knows the neighbor's child came inside looking for him and just he looked behind the cupboard. Or he came out on his own, God knows what, I don't remember. But he had shared this story. He had not gone missing, but the mother thought that he's gone missing. He was simply hiding behind the cupboard. Why? He said he also doesn't know why he was doing that. So none of you did any such mischief. Let's do the question answer then. What are the things the child sees on his way to the fair? Why does he lag behind? What things does he see? Snake charmer was in the fair. On his way to the fair. No.
Toys.
Toys.
Sweets.
The sweet milk shop. Yes.
Flowers.
Flowers again in the
Mustard fields.
mustard fields. Yes. So, he sees the sweets. Then he sees the mother shows, okay, no sweets. See those. Then he sees the mustard seeds. Then he sees a group of dragonflies bustling around and dragonflies and butterflies. Then in the grove, he sees the cooing doves. Remember? The petals, the flowers and the petals and the cooing doves. And then they reach the fair. Why does he lag behind?
He was staring at the insects.
He was interested, yeah, he gets attracted by everything that he sees on his way to the fair. So first, he keeps watching the colorful, sweets displayed on the sweetbread shop. Then he tries to go after the dragonflies and butterflies and tries to catch them. As they move ahead, he gets distracted by the insects on the footpath, and therefore he lags behind. As he gets attracted and he tries to watch these insects, he lags behind. In the fair, he wants many things. What are they? Why does he move on without waiting for an answer? Like you'll be writing these answers in the notebook. You have a notebook now.
Yes.
So write down these answers. If you want, you can write them in the point. It's not in complete sentence. So we'll discuss two answers, then you write. Okay, first two, then you write. In the fair, or will you write the first answer? Write the first answer, then we'll go to the second one.
questions.
From our team. So you know what determiners are. You have the list of determiners.
When we were doing the questions,
Okay.
we were granted at that time the notes. So we just told to solve the question. And if we didn't understand anything, she would tell us.
Okay. So what things does the child see on his way?
Toys.
Toys. Yes. So he saw toys, sweets, colorful sweets displayed in a shop. I'm just writing the points here. Then what did he see? Look what is ahead. So he then saw the flowering mustard field, right?
Yes.
Crawling insects on the footpath. And the cooing doves. See the answer, you need to write it in a paragraph. You will not write one after the other.
Yes.
In a paragraph, you write it in a paragraph. The boy, on his way to the fair, the boy saw the shops selling toys. Then as he went ahead, he saw the colorful sweets displayed in a shop. As he moved further, there were flowering mustard fields, and then he saw a group of dragonflies and butterflies. Much little ahead, he saw the crawling insects on the footpath, and finally, in the grove, he saw the cooing doves. In the grove, okay, that is how you will write the answer. I'm giving you it in points. Okay, but you will write it in a paragraph, whole sentences. You'll be able to do that, no?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Then why was he lagging behind?
Because he was fascinated by the insect.
Yes, he always got fascinated by everything around him, and he waited there to observe it. Okay, so he was fascinated by everything around him. And he waited every now and then to watch it. In the fair, he wants many things. What are they?
Toys, sweets.
In the fair. Now, this was on the way to the fair. Okay, what things did he? Yes, balloons. What did he see first?
Sweets.
Sweets. Okay.
Flower seller.
Yes. First he saw sweets. In the fair he saw sweets. The colorful sweets displayed were in the fair. Okay. So colorful sweets displayed in the shop. Then next, the flower seller selling the garlands of gulmohar, and
Balloons.
then he saw the colorful balloons and snake charmer playing his tune, and lastly the roundabout. Why does he not move? Why does he move on without waiting for an answer?
Because he knew his parents would
Okay, because he knew that his parents were strict and they will never allow him to buy anything, or they will never forbid him to buy anything. When does he realize that he has lost his way?
He realized when he was on the roundabout.
Okay, when he saw the roundabout, he wanted to enjoy it. That's when he turned to ask his parents, and he realized that they were not there. How have the anxiety and insecurity been described?
He was so well and from his ground through.
Okay, what did you say? How is this anxiety? He was anxious and
He was not trusting anyone.
he started crying. He started sobbing loudly. Tears started rolling down from his eyes. Started calling out his parents. He ran in different directions looking for them. Finally, when he got tired, he stood there observing different people and seeing whether he could, and looking for his parents. Finally, he went into the shrine in a group, okay, to search them. So you will write all this. What all will you say?
He was crying.
He started crying.
He was screaming.
Okay, he shrieked and he started sobbing loudly. Then
ran in different directions.
Tears started rolling down and he ran in different directions to look for his parents.
Then I
When he was tired, he stood there looking for his, observing the people and looking for his parents. And finally, he started calling out their names, mother, father, loudly. And finally, he entered a shrine to look for them. So write this answer. When does he realize he has lost his way? And how have his anxiety and insecurity been dispelled? When did he realize? What did you say?
When he was at the roundabout and when he was asking to go.
When was taking? So when he turned to take the permission to enjoy it. Okay. So roundabout. At roundabout. Ask permission.
No reply.
No reply. And realized that the parents were nowhere to be seen. Then how did he react? So started crying. Do you have the Cbse book? This book, UT book, English. Then you only got that grammar book.
We have not got any book from UP or British.
Okay. Done?
Yes.
Why does the child lose interest in the things that he had wanted earlier?
Because he was lost and was feeling insecure. He wanted to meet his parents.
That's right. Anything more? Simple, that is the answer. That the child had got lost. When he was with his parents, he was happy. And now that he got lost and couldn't see his parents, he felt insecure. He wanted to go back to his parents. He wanted to see his parents again. And therefore, he was very anxious, scared. He was scared, and therefore, he did not enjoy or did not want the things that he wanted earlier. Okay. So, the reason would be he was lost, he missed his parents, and therefore, he wanted to go back to them. He wanted to see them again. He was afraid, and therefore he did not enjoy. Okay? So you can write the points. You'll be able to write in the sentence, no? Full sentence. So the point would be, what would be the first point? He was lost. Who's he here? The child, the lost child. He was lost, couldn't see his parents. What happened because of that? He was anxious, afraid,
Insecure.
felt insecure. Secure and
Missed.
yes, missed his parents. Wanted to see them again. And therefore, he did not enjoy the things that he enjoyed earlier. What do you think happens in the end? Does the child find his parents? What do you think happens in the end?
He finds.
You think he finds them? What is your opinion?
Yes.
He does? You also want him to find his parents? Yes. You don't know whether he finds, but you want him to find his parents. Even you? Okay. See, this is an opinion-based question. So you can write anything. You can write, no, he does not find and he gets lost, and then this man takes him home and, probably raises him as his own. Or he takes him to the police station and the police come looking for his parents. You can write anything. Okay, it's completely. Or you can say that, what do you think? What will be your end? You tell me. What will you write? What happens in the end? How does he find his parents? Where does he find his parents? Have you gone to the fair? Any?
The child's parent would only when they would not be getting their child, they would first go to the police, and then the police would come and find them.
Okay, look for him.
Yes.
Or they are in the fair, so maybe they go to the main office and the security there
Announcement.
and make an announcement for him, for his name. Okay, so the child then hears the announcement and then realizes that his name is being called, and he decides to go to that main stage. You know, if you have been to the fair anytime, or it has never happened in the mall also, the supermarket, that you're looking at some aisle and the mother is in some other aisle, and then you're not able to find her for some time. Never happened. Never. You go follow your mummy then. That's nice. Good children. It happens many times with me. I'm somewhere, my husband is somewhere, and we keep searching each other. I keep looking and I go in some other aisles. He has his own interests. That's a good suggestion that the parents, when they realize that their child is lost, they go to the main office at the fair, and the security people make announcement. Like the child hears the announcement, and the man helps him to go to the office where for the security people. So this answer you have to write down. How, what happens in the end, whether he meets his parents. Okay, giving you 2 minutes and 5 minutes. Even you stay in the same area,
Yes.
close from here, walking
Yes,
distance, Moraj. You also stay in Moraj. You haven't seen the school before? Oh, sorry, I'm so sorry. And you are in Ryan, right?
Yes.
Just ask it. child. Wrote the answer? What did you write?
Yes, he does find his parents with the help of the count's teacher and making announcement.
By?
Making announcement.
Okay.
In the end, maybe the child finds his parents when his parents go to the police for help.
Okay. And they come searching for him. And they come searching for him. So complete that. What happens? And what have you written?
Yes, in the end, the child's parents, when they realize that the child is lost, they go to the main office and they announce the child's name.
Okay. So you understood the story, the lost child. Okay. It's a simple one. Only thing you remember what things he saw on his way to the fair, and then things he saw in the fair, and then what was his reaction when he when he realized that he's lost and his parents are not there. Okay. And then how he suddenly lost interest in everything. Just I give you this line, page 4. He ran quickly again, this time to a shrine to which people seemed to be crowding. Every little inch of space here was congested with men, but he ran through the people's legs, his little sob lingering mother heart. Okay? Got those lines?
Yes.
So that is your small paragraph. Okay, and I'll give you the questions based on that. Who's he in the passage? Yeah. So you will write down the questions. Huh? I'll give you the answer right here. Who's he in the passage? So first answer you know. Who is he in the passage? Why was he sobbing?
Because he was lost.
Yes.
Because he was lost and was missing his parents.
Okay. He was lost, he was afraid and missing his parents. Who heard his cries?
A kind stranger in a surging crowd.
Yes. A kind soul, stranger in the surging crowd heard his cries. Okay, what did he do? He lifted him up and took him out of the shrine and
asked him of
tried to calm him. He tried to calm him, and in order to calm him, he tried to offer him different gifts. Wrote the third answer? Fourth also?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Finish? Okay, take your time.
Congested.
Yes. Fourth answer is congested. Jostled is to, have you ever got into a train?
You
That is jostling. When you push others and move inside. Now, if this answer, if these answers are never known, if it is paragraph, then for paragraph there have been never long answers.
1 mark.
Huh?
1 mark.
1 mark, yeah. So this answer is fit for 1 mark. But if this question comes for 3 marks, then you will write the brief answer. This is writing man's in front of the in a surging crowd, heard his cries, stood down. Then you cut that and निकाल के ना उसका अलग sentence बना देंगे. Okay. He stood down with great difficulty. He lifted him up in his arms. Then he took him out of the shrine, and then he showed him the different attractions and tried to calm him down. And for that he offered him different gifts like जो कुछ उसने देखा था, sweets, buttercream, balloons, ये सब है. Story याद रहेगी ना? He was lost and he was afraid. He was lost and hence afraid. Here you have written the answer. You began with because.
Yes.
You should never begin with because. Okay. The child was sobbing because. Remember that while writing the answer, the child was sobbing because. Never start a sentence with because. I think you are done. Did you get the answer?
The third.
Okay. So who heard his cries?
Strange.
A stranger from the surging crowd in the
Shrine.
shrine. Yes. So you write that. What did he do? You have next period. This is the only class you have. So I think you can go there. Next time you bring both the books, okay? You haven't got the grammar or anything from. Thank you. Bye. Thank you. Bye. Books you will get in 1 week. What are the extra
There's a first.
सेम टाइम में आए थे नीचे
किसके साथ क्या बीचेस के साथ
हाँ
I